Welcome back, everybody, to the Jacksonville Jaguars franchise here on Madden 21. As today, Week 17 is officially here, and our Jaguars are set to take on the Indianapolis Colts for the final game here in Season number 1 of the series. Obviously, this year did not quite go as we hoped, currently 5-10, and we were just eliminated from playoff contention in the previous episode. Obviously, this division has been an absolute mess. The 6-9 nice Texans and the 6-9 nice Titans will battle each other to determine the winner of the division, and us and the Colts will battle it out to see who gets last place in the division. So on paper, this looks like a pretty meaningless game for the Jaguars, but that's incorrect, and you'll see why in a second. But first off, wide receiver D.D. Westbrook has been cleared from his injury, and will we play him or not? This is a very easy question. There's no reason to have him play. So, to make things even crazier, we're going to actually put him on IR just so we can get an extra roster spot and sign an extra player for the team. So, as you can see, the roster, we have our regular starters in, but that will change. We will have some of our main starters in the game for Week 17, but for the most part, we will have backups. So, without further ado, you'll meet your new Week 17 Jaguars squad in 1 second. But first, we are using that extra roster spot to sign center Tristan Colon-Castillo from the New York Jets practice squad. He will be the starting center. And as you can tell, for the most part, we got the backups in on offense. Chark, Minshew, and Shenault will all start. I do not think they will really get much playing time in the second half. Just because you're starting the game doesn't mean you're going to finish it. And just because you're a starter who doesn't start doesn't mean you won't get increased playing time in the second half. Defensively, Myles Jack, K'Lavon Chaisson, C.J. Henderson, and Josh Allen will all still be receiving pretty big playing time, along with Taven Bryan. But outside of that, pretty much backups in across the board. So we are also playing for draft position. Currently, if the season ended today, we would get the 5th overall selection. We are currently 5-10 along with the Broncos, Colts, Eagles, and Bengals. So there's a little bit of a log jam there. The Bills are 4-10-1, and the Giants have already clinched the number 1 pick. So linebacker Louis Kahn is pretty much officially a Giant. The best we could get is pick 2, and the worst we could get is like somewhere in the low teens, I think. Probably in the 12 to 14 area, but that's fairly unlikely. I think it's pretty much a sure thing we will pick in the top 10. So here's a look at this Colts team. They were disappointing this season. A lot of people had them as a sleeper pick in the playoffs, and obviously that hasn't really panned out. They had the same record as us, which obviously is not very good. Wouldn't be surprised if they go after a quarterback in the offseason, considering Phillip Rivers is like 38 years old. He's no spring chicken anymore. So here we go. Week 17, Jacoby Brissett's helmet has morphed into his head somehow. I don't know how that's possible, but, I mean, it happens, so what can you do? As the 5-10 Jacksonville Jaguars take on the 5-10 Indianapolis Colts to determine who the worst team in the AFC South is. Going to get a good look at some of Jacksonville's backups, some of the younger players who haven't gotten a lot of playing time. Guys like Rodney Anderson, Colin Johnson, Daniel Thomas, Shaq Quarterman, Geno Stone, and others will get the opportunity that they have been craving for all season long, as the Colts, led by the veteran Phillip Rivers, take on Gardner Minshew and the Jacksonville Jaguars coming up next. So here comes Minshew in the offense, his final game of the season. Up and down campaign for Minshew. I think he played better at the start of the year, but still a very solid sophomore campaign for him. As on 3rd and 5, he gets it to the rookie wideout out of Texas, Colin Johnson. Johnson's first career reception, it goes for 22 yards. Johnson really has not seen the field at all this season, and he's going to get a full opportunity this whole game. 3rd and 5, Minshew looking for Josh Oliver, who is starting in place of David Njoku today. The pass is incomplete. Svettel tried out the field goal unit. 53-yard attempt for Lambeau. It's nearly blocked, and it is short. That's what she said, and to be specific, that's what she told me last night. Score remains tied at 0. Indianapolis has it back. Rivers on 2nd and 8, going to get it to Zach Pascal, who brings it to a 25. An incredible season for Pascal. I believe he is 2nd in the NFL in receiving yards, just behind DJ Chark. Pascal is a free agent this offseason, so expect him to get the bag from some team. Very following play, wash, rinse, repeat. This time it's a 25-yard touchdown from Rivers over to Zach Pascal, and the Colts lead it 7-0. Jacksonville has it back, 3rd and inches. Gardner Minshew going to scramble like he's late on a date. Actually, he didn't really scramble that much. over to Chark for a gain of 21. Good gain for the Jaguars. Minshew looking good in his final game this season. Second and 11 now from 32. Handoff for Rodney Anderson. He has some blocks. Very nice gain from Anderson, who has looked fairly good so far today. Especially with the top 3 running backs on this team, Fournette, AP, and Chris Thompson all being free agents. Rodney Anderson could have a bigger role next year, as speaking of Anderson, he gets a 13-yard touchdown. Once again, incredible blocking by Jacksonville. Anderson's first career rushing touchdown as a pro. And Jacksonville will tie it up at 7 apiece. Indianapolis has it back now in the second quarter. First down, Rivers looking to throw it, and he's going to be sacked. For rookie, K'Lavon Chaisson brings down the quarterback. Chaisson had 2 sacks a week ago. It's been mostly a rough rookie season for Chaisson, but he has looked a lot better down the stretch. Jaguars with it now, 3rd and 10. Minshew's pass for Cole is incomplete. I think he can make the case for there potentially being a pass interference call on the defense, but the officials would say no. Indianapolis has it back as on 3rd and 8. Ifeadi Adenabu brings down Rivers. What a season Adenabu's had since being acquired at the trade deadline from the Vikings. He has been one of the best players on this team, period. Jaguars have it back. Another nice gain from Rodney Anderson, who already has 63 yards on the afternoon. A couple plays later, it's now 2nd and 10 from the 35. Back to Anderson, and this time it's not as successful. He loses 4, courteous of the second-year cornerback, Rock Ya-Sin. So now it's a 3rd and 14 for Jacksonville as Minshew going to look to throw it. Going to try to get it to Laviska Shenault, and it's nearly intercepted. Defender had it right in his hands. So once again, the field goal unit's out, but it's going to be a fake. More fake than my ex-girlfriend, and it actually works. Jawan Taylor gets the first down. Considering Lambeau missed a 53-yarder, I don't know why the Colts expected him to make a 56-yarder. So I don't know how they were fooled on that play, but they were. Will Jacksonville capitalize? The answer is yes. Keelan Cole will find the end zone for a touchdown, and the Jacksonville Jaguars are now up 14-7. Indianapolis has it back, 3rd and inches from around the 35-yard line, under a minute to go in the first half, as Rivers throws it into the middle of nowhere. I think he was aiming for the grass. Whoever he was aiming for, nobody caught it. So the Jaguars have it with 41 seconds and 2 timeouts. Going to try to extend their lead as Chark tackled at the 45 for a good gain of about 19 yards. Jacksonville trying to move the chains. 3rd and 8 now from the 42, down to 1 timeout. Minshew once again going for Chark, right on the money. That's a gain of 20. Chark with the tippy-toe grab, trying to show off his inner Santonio Holmes on that play. 2nd and 1 now from the 13. The Jaguars are going to try to punch it in as Keelan Cole drops what could have been an easy touchdown, and the Jags are going to be forced to kick a field goal. It looks like that one's going to cost them 4 points. Lambeau does make the kick, and that'll do it for the first half. 17-7 is your score. Colts lead it. We're going to skip right to the second half, avoid the halftime antics today because, well, these two teams just want to end their seasons as quick as possible. 2nd and 6, there's Ifeadi Adenabu with his 2nd sack of the game. I want to say his 8th of the season. And Jacksonville will get it back. Luke, who's under center. No more Minshew. It'll be Joshua Dobbs, the backup for the rest of this one, is on 3rd and 9 from the 3. Leonard Fournette with one of his few carries today ends up losing 2, so that'll force a punt. As you can imagine, the Colts would start with really good field position as on 2nd and 8. Rivers going to heave it up for Hilton, who makes an incredible grab over Perry Nickerson. Excellent reception by the veteran T.Y. Hilton. 3rd and 7 now from the 25. Rivers going to look to throw it, and he would be sacked. That is sack number 12.5 on the season for Josh Allen, who has probably been the best player on this defense, I think, without question. So that'll lead the field goal unit to come out on the field. 53-yard attempt for Stephen Gostkowski, and his kick is wide right. Probably didn't have the distance either. So both kickers have missed 53-yarders today, and the score remains 17-7 in favor of the Jaguars. 3rd and 2, Chris Thompson loses a yard, courteous of the star linebacker Darius Leonard. Thompson had the open seam up the middle, but decided to go to the outside for whatever reason, so that would force a punt. Indy has it back, 3rd and 8. Short throw is going to be caught by Trey Burton. He only gets a few, so that'll force a punt. It has been very, very bad offense here in the 3rd quarter. Jacksonville now with it on 1st down as Dobbs is sacked. The first sack of the game for Indy, it's by Jabal Sheard. for a loss of around 10. Colts will get it back. There's only 6 minutes left in the fourth quarter. These offenses are continuing to play terribly as Rivers gets it to Hilton once more, who is tackled at the 29-yard line. Very next play, Rivers will look to throw it once again. It looks like it's going to be a screen, but he doesn't have time to throw it. K'Lavon Chaisson with his second sack of the game. In the first 14 games this season, Chaisson only had 1 sack, and in the past 2 games, he's gotten 4. Very impressive from Chaisson as on 3rd and 8. Marlon Mack on the screen only gets around 6 or 7. Wrapped up by a pair of Jaguars defenders, so that'll prompt the field goal unit to come out. Under 4 minutes to play, it's Gostkowski to make it a 1-score game. His kick is good, and the Colts will now make it 17-10. It's a 1-score game again. 3rd and 10 at the 10 now for Jacksonville. Dobbs under pressure, and he fumbles it in the end zone. Jawan Taylor does pick it up, but that will be a safety. Bobby Okereke was the one with the strip sack, and Jacksonville is lucky it's 17-12 rather than 17 apiece. But the Colts now have really good field position and an opportunity to take the lead. 2nd and 3, short throw is going to be caught by the rookie Michael Pittman Jr., who is down at the 30. Now it's 2nd and 1 from the 22. Rivers gets it to Marlon Mack inside the 10 to around the 6. And the Colts just have to play smart football, and they'll be able to punch it in. 1st and goal. Rivers' pass is intercepted. The rookie Geno Stone out of Iowa picks it off, and the Jaguars now have the chance to chew the clock and end it. Unfortunately, their chewing clock attempts would be unsuccessful, so the punting unit is out from inside their 5, and the kick is blocked by the Colts. Picked up by Tavon Wilson for a touchdown. And the Indianapolis Colts will take the lead in miraculous fashion. I don't know how that happened, but it did. I couldn't really tell who blocked that. Colts are now going to go for 2, try to make it a 3-point lead. What a play for Indy, and that could give them the win. As Rivers is hit by Shaq Quarterman, his pass is incomplete, so it's 17-18. Field goal wins it for Jacksonville. They do have 2 timeouts. 3rd and 10. Dobbs under a lot of pressure. His pass is tipped by Darius Leonard, and the season now comes down to 1 final play. 4th and 10 for Jacksonville. Dobbs going to look to throw it. Has absolutely nobody open. Excellent coverage by the Colts as Josh Oliver drops the pass, and that'll do it. Here is Phillip Rivers for the final kneel down, and that is how season number 1 of the Jaguars franchise come to a close in saddening fashion. 18-17, the Colts win it. But on the bright side, if you were rooting against the Jaguars for tanking purposes, then congratulations, because we had the better pick because of it. Nonetheless, not the way Jacksonville wanted to end the season, and I think this game kind of showed us how good Gardner Minshew is. He was not spectacular, but Joshua Dobbs came in and the offense did nothing. Obviously, we know Minshew is a better player than Dobbs, no question, but the offense just looked different. Granted, there were a ton of backups in the second half, but there were also a ton of backups in the game in the first half. So I think this really showed us that whether Gardner Minshew is the long-term answer or not, I think it's safe to say Minshew will be the starting quarterback heading into Week 1 next season. Neither offense played well at all. Indianapolis' offense kind of got bailed out. I mean, the Colts offense only scored 3 points in the second half. They had the safety and the block punt. So Indy's offense did not win them the game. Let's make it very clear. Jacksonville did get 5 sacks, 2 for Adenabu, 2 for Chaisson, and 1 for Josh Allen. And Geno Stone, despite not getting a single tackle, nearly had the game-clinching interception. So the regular season is over. The season recap will be next episode. Got a lot of things to talk about in that one. The Texans ended up defeating the Titans. So the 7-9 Houston Texans will be hosting a playoff game. For those wondering, we are tied with the Bengals at 5-11. So we should get pick 3 or 4. This thing isn't updated. And based on the tiebreaker rules, I think we should get pick 3 because we beat the Bengals this season. I think that's how the draft pick tiebreakers work. If you beat the team, you get to pick ahead of them. The Giants have 1, the Bills have 2, and then it's us and the Bengals at 5-11, and I think we would get 3. If not, we'll get 4. So we're picking in the top 4 regardless. Hope you all enjoyed the episode and season number 1. Make sure to leave a like and subscribe. I'm out. Peace.